just here back to a new regular show video on our review series. And yeah, we are now beginning season 4, and man, does season 4 start out strong. And I don't know why, but this feels like this type of episode feels like something you would see as a final episode, I would say, like a conclusion. But this is the beginning of season 4 of the 8 seasons of regular show. And yeah, this one really starts out strong of this season. And yeah, it starts with this guy named Thomas coming over to the park because, yeah, he's got an internship. He's coming in for a job. And yeah, he doesn't see anybody at the door. Doesn't seem like everybody's home, and he gets a call from his mom. And yeah, saying that how he's met pretty much about everybody, and they seem all good. And then we see this explosion happening, and everybody running. These lasers being shot, like Benson, High Five Ghost, and Pops running, and Skip's getting taken out by this bearded guy. And yeah, everybody's getting attacked, and Mordecai and Rigby use the time machine, and yeah, we see the whole house get destroyed, and this weird thing coming out and forming. And then yeah, we see 2 months later where yeah, we see Skips has his own place, and apparently they're not even knowing each other. Yeah, it's like everybody hasn't even met each other because Pops doesn't know Skips. Pops doesn't know Skips, and Skips doesn't know Pops. And when Pops is getting his car, and yeah, we see supposedly of what it looks Muscle Man, and he's waiting at the stoplight, and yeah, Pops almost runs him over, and High Five goes as a pizza delivery boy. And yeah, goes over to, apparently it's supposed to be the park. Yeah. And we see Benson being a construction worker and brings the pizza to their new boss. And yeah, this guy is suspicious, I can just say. And even making this Thomas guy, the intern, feeding him pizza as well. And yeah, Mordecai and Rigby come back, and yeah, they destroy the time machine. And yeah, they got the document, which is pretty much to show needing the signatures of all of the employees of the park in order to show that it is a landmark that cannot be destroyed. Huh. Haven't I seen this kind of plot before? Yeah, for real. Recently. Haven't I just watched a movie that has something like that? Where they're needing a document in order to show that showing a landmark that's claimed to not be destroyed? Yeah, the Hey Arnold movie. The first Hey Arnold movie. Remember where they needed the document of the war in order to show that the town is not needing to be destroyed from being turned into a mall? Yeah, this episode gives me those kind of vibes, since I recently, not too long ago, just watched that movie. And yeah, so it's giving me kind of those vibes, because they're needing a document in order to show that the park does not need to be destroyed. And yeah, they go to Skip's place, but he's not home, and it is a wreck. And then they see a card, which goes to Skip's Auto Parts, which, yeah, of course, he doesn't even recognize Mordecai and Rigby, because apparently this guy, that guy that we saw Benson with, and Thomas having to feed pizza to, pretty much brainwashed all of them, so they don't even know each other. And yeah, even getting mad at Rigby, which he starts choking them as well, and they're trying to get him to remember who he is. And yeah, show him the reason of remember why you're called Skips. And then he starts remembering all these different flashbacks. And yeah, he remembers who he really is and remembers Mordecai and Rigby. And yeah, after they get Skips back to normal, they're trying to figure out a way in order to stop this guy. Because, yeah, apparently he's going to be turning the park into an Exit 9B. Or pretty much a, like a runway. Or a highway, pretty much. He's going to destroy the park and turn it into like a highway. And yeah, we see the park historical landmark. Which, yeah, we see that, yeah, it's official as well. Like, all of the officials have marked it. And they need all the employees' signatures. And all they have was Mordecai and Rigby's. And, yeah, they're having to go into the guy's office room and see all of the different... Yeah, we see what all of the different characters like Muscle Man and everybody else have been renamed, pretty much, since they were brainwashed and gave new identities. And see that Benson, yeah, even Benson as well. And, yeah, speaking of Benson and Thomas and that guy come in and getting angry with Benson, and seems like they're about to get caught in this closet, but no, he closes this cabinet, or this drawer. And, yeah, they go to Pops, which is in this exhibit, and gives him the sucker. And, yeah, Pops starts to remember who he is. And, yeah, they manage to get Pops back to normal. And then we see Muscle Man at his class, teaching the class, and yeah, Mordecai and them telling them of, you know who else would be able to answer that. And yeah, of course he's remembering who he is when he mentions his mom, or saying my mom. And yep, Muscle Man gets brought back as well. And then they get High Five Ghost and pin him down and give him a high five. And yeah, we see flashbacks with that too. And yeah, everybody is back except for Benson. Yup, except for Benson. They're gonna need all of the employees' signatures, which they just need Benson now. And yeah, they make a plan and do a huddle. And yeah, when they're sneaking into the park, Thomas comes and finds them, which they're saying they have to get out of here. But of course they're not leaving. But Benson managed to pretty much capture everybody. And yeah, now they're being in the cement. And this guy, though, like, you would want to know what is up with this guy, because he is more angry with Mordecai and Rigby. But it turns out he is the son of that weird bearded floating head that, Mordecai and Rigby baited the high score on. Like, yeah, it's the son of the guy that, and, the guy that blew up as well after he was baiting the high score. They baited the high score. And yeah, he's getting payback from them. And yeah, making this laser come together and forming this portal, which, yeah, this huge portal that's bringing back just about almost everybody that we have seen so far get beaten. All of these enemies, these villains. And yep, that guy also comes back too. And yeah, very grossly, they form arms and legs out of their heads, floating heads. And yeah, even those hot dogs, those live hot dogs come back, even though they pretty much ate themselves. Literally, remember, they actually ate themselves in that episode. And yep, then Skips brings those floating babies, and the guy with the tech, right, on that technical Skips on the trying to fix the computer episode, and the basketball guy, the guy in the car, and even Des yeah, even bringing deaths to come and help. And yeah, they managed to get him out of the cement. And yeah, Mordecai doing this really good speech. And yeah, everybody is on board. And yeah, we start seeing them wrecking the zombies. And even fighting. Like a really cool fight sequence, I would just say. Everybody's just fighting. And yeah, Skip's even getting those golden gloves back as well. And yeah, a really cool fight sequence. Even with that tape that, Rigby they got the song stuck in their head from. And yeah, they're trying to get Benson to remember who he is. And yeah, he's chasing them down. And yep, we even see that Susan character, that they all turned into when Benson was fired. And yeah, just so much cool action here. And yeah, Skips gets his gloves wet and destroyed. And yeah, a lot more crazy action. And an explosion with this plane. And yeah, Benson's about to crush Mordecai and Rigby. And then, yeah, they start doing wheelies. Or they start doing donuts. And yeah, making him starting to remember. Which, yeah, they realize they're starting to get it back to him. And doing their faces. And yeah, just saying that they're not going to put the chairs up. And yeah, it's starting to work very well. And then doing, oh! And yep, we could just say, Benson remembering. And he's like, where do I sign? And yeah, they make it back and saying that it ends now. And they signed everybody's name. But except for Thomas. Yeah, apparently Thomas now counts. Because Benson apparently hired him right before all of this happened. And they have to give the document. But Thomas thankfully shows what is going on to him. What they're doing to him. And yeah, splashes coffee on them. And yeah, they managed to switch the documents. And they got the real one. And Thomas signs his name. And yeah, everything is starting to crash. And yeah, they explode as well. And we see an explosion. And everything is back to normal. And they're very proud with Thomas. And sing him around. And yeah, he calls his mom. And saying, I think this job is really going to do good for me. Yeah, a really insane start to season 4, I would say. It started with a bang, for sure. And again, even though this is the first episode, it's definitely my favorite of the season, even though we just started the season. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments. Catch you next one.